Good morning, and thank you all for joining Facing the Lion podcast. It is finally Friday, as we have faced our lions all week long. Today, we are talking about what we've been facing, and I'll tell you right now, I did a nighttime show this week and got a chance to really key into what was on people's mind. Without going into that, I know that Vibe Talk Facing the Lion challenges you to challenge yourself to find out what is going on with you as we face our lions. I'm hoping that all of you can really be honest with yourself. Um, and I'm also hoping that as you think about Vibe Talk Facing the Line, good morning. Good morning. And where are you listening in from, please and thank you. And your first name, please. And you can do initials as well. Good morning, everyone. We are asking the question, what challenges have you faced this week? What questions? It's up to you. You don't have to reveal it. I ask because we're live and we go by real names. And so if you don't hear me say your name, that's okay. Okay? Because I want you to feel comfortable. Okay? And we are glad you're here. We're asking the question, what challenges? Bob. Okay, Bob. Now I want you guys, if you're not feeling comfortable with your first name, it's okay. Because when you come here, I want you to feel like this is your safe space. So we are talking about challenges. Anybody been faced with challenges as you think about this week? And Bob, what state are you listening in from? What state? Yeah, that's why we asked the question. If you care to talk about it, we're here. It's a safe space for you. Alabama. Hot there, huh? Because I'm in the desert of California, and I can tell you right now, and right here, that it is very hot here in California, and I'm in the high desert. So, what have you been facing? And on Fridays, what we do is bring you information as to how you can handle it, how you can handle it. Good morning, Trish. And are you able
Good morning.
to hear me? Can you play our theme song, Facing the Lion? Are you able to do that from where you are?
No.
Okay. You've been trying to get a what? Familiarize me with that, Bob. And I want you guys to know as you face your challenges, Oh, okay. Okay. And so that's your challenge. How are you going about doing that? How are you going about doing that? Yeah, and we'll wait for you as you challenge that. You don't know. Well, let's first think about ourselves. How well do we know ourselves? Do you know yourself? Good morning, Jordan, and good morning to my co-host Trish. Do you know yourself well enough to ask that? Not much. So here's what I would do as a life coach, ask you to tune into yourself. Do you know what you want? Because if you don't know about yourself, you can't ask for somebody else to be in your life until you find out what you want. Okay? Because the leading questions that I would ask you for something like that is what kind, uh, what do you want in a woman? So I would ask you, first of all, what do you want in yourself? Let's start with that. And that's a good challenge. Better yet, what do you expect from yourself? Let's start with that, okay? So, because I think that's a good challenge. What do you expect from yourself? And I want you to think about that as you are contemplating the challenge that you are facing this week. Because if we don't know what we want, okay, uh, are you saying short as in the woman? Am I to understand that? Because, okay, well, what do you expect from yourself is the question. Because that woman is going to expect something from you. You want all these requirements. What do you think her qualities should be? And we're talking to Bob all the way from Alabama. Thank you, Bob. A good person. And what kind of good are you thinking about? When you say good, are you a good person and are you doing good things? Let's think about this as we challenge ourselves. And thank you for chiming in the conversation. So you're being challenged to find uh, a woman, and you say you want a good person. Okay. Are you a good person? Most people are going to say yes, but I'm going to follow that up with, what was the last good thing that you did? Let's think about this, and you'll see how this relates to expectation of yourself. You said you're okay. Now, did you did you find anything good about yourself? And I ask you that because you said that was your challenge. What is good about yourself? Let's start with that, because we got a lot of listeners out there, Bob. What is good about yourself? You say you're a good person, but I haven't seen you put up anything good. That's the last thing. Okay. 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 So when you answer that, that lets me know that you aren't ready. You're requesting from a woman something that you can't figure out yourself. And that's just being honest. Okay? Because you're evading the question of a good person and then you're saying being short. Okay? Which isn't connecting. So you know what that's telling me? That you don't know yourself yet. And this is the thing. When we challenge ourselves into relationships, we got to know what we want. And we got to know that the other person that we're wanting is expecting something of us. And if you answer like that, it's going to be quite challenging to get any woman. Because you know what the woman's going to say? Well, you don't know yourself. Because in the 5 minutes that we've been talking, you haven't even been able to say one good thing about yourself. Okay, being short. I'm short. I'm probably 5'0". But we ask you the question, what have you done that makes you a good person? Connection. Everybody get that? Trish, do you get that, or do you want to weigh in on that? Are you there? Okay. So you said something good to someone? What was it? See how I'm getting you to challenge yourself? What was it that you said good to someone? I don't know if you're on, Trish, or not. There you are. What? Okay. They're a cool person. Let me ask you, Bob. How old are you? How old are you? Let me just ask you. And this is why Trish and I do the challenge thing. Okay, so you're 23. And how long has it been since you've been in a relationship? And we'll start with the last relationship. Would this be your first relationship, or and how did that turn out for you? Because Vibe Talk teaches you to challenge yourself. Your first relationship. So you haven't been in any real relationships. How do you feel about yourself? Let me start with that. That tells me a lot too. How do you feel about yourself? So this is a first relationship. How do you feel about yourself? You're okay. So what are you okay with about yourself? You see the challenge that we face about ourselves? The first challenge that we face about ourselves, ladies and gentlemen, is that we find it hard to say something kind about ourselves. So I want everyone, because see, this is not only a Bob situation, this is uh, a issue that many of us have. If you speak into yourself one kind thing, my sister told me the other day something about myself, and it was pretty much right on the money. She says, you're afraid for people to love you, so you don't let them in. And she said, I've really watched you, and it's like you don't want them to like you. And she if she is reading that into me, what do you think I should do about it, Trisha? What would you say?
I think the thing to do is actually step back and actually see if it's true about you. A reflective time about yourself and see, is this really true about me, or Is this an assumption? And if you do see, you know what, it's right. It's right on the money, like you said, then you should work on it.
Yeah, because she was so right. She read it like a book. And she says, you know what I've noticed about you? You do not want people to like you, but people like you. They love you. And she was naming all the stuff, and I know they had been in conversation about it. And it was good for me to be able to look at that and say, wow, yes, I'm life coaching people, and I'm doing this as a career, and wow. So we need to know ourselves. And even if we don't want to read into ourselves kindness, just like with this situation, not able to answer me because you can't possibly want something in someone that you don't have in yourself. Until I accept permission for people to love me and it's okay and I'm feeling safe, because I'll tell you right now, I don't feel safe with everybody loving me. A lot of people thrive off of that, but I don't feel safe with everybody loving me. That frightens me. It's too much for me. Too much. So we have to challenge ourselves with these things. Bob, we were talking about challenging ourselves and taking a look at ourselves, not being evasive. So here's the way it is, since we're streaming worldwide. I do one-on-ones with people to help them understand getting connected to themselves. I'm getting better about speaking kindness into myself. I'm getting better about saying exactly what I need. And until we want something, we can want it and want it in our life. But if somebody doesn't see that you have it, maybe the person wants to have a good person, but if you can't explain to them that you're a good person or show them that you're a good person, why should they waste their time? Getting connected is a challenge. Trish and I have done facing challenges on Finally Friday for the last 3 years. And we don't want for any reason for you guys to feel like this is a time to pick on. Because your challenge was, you said you wanted to find a woman. Well, as a woman, I want a man to know about himself. I ask you in the conversation, hey, what good thing have you done? You weren't able to speak good about yourself. You weren't sure about yourself as you look back on your conversation. I want you to be able to think about the things that are important to you. What things are important to you? Let me ask you that. What is something important to you? Because, yeah, let me ask you, what is something important to you? Because it's important for me to be able to trust the other person. Your house is important to you? Okay. Your life? What about your life is important? Because if a woman asks you that, so family is important, your house. What about your life? What is something in your life? You said your house and your family. Okay. So your life is important. As you look at on your life, I want you to peer into your life right now, because you have eyes that can see, and a memory that tells you about reflection. As you look at your reflection, what about your life has been the most important thing? My life, the most important thing to me is spirituality. Above everything else I could ever have is spirituality. Trish, what's the most important thing in your life?
I would say spirituality too.
Yeah.
And under that, I would say my character is the very most important thing in my life. Because if I lose myself, then I feel like I lose everything.
Yeah. My next thing on order is my kids. On a daily. Now, we are not saying that everybody that comes in Vibe Talk is a spiritual person. So we keep this podcast pretty neutral. Everybody is not a spiritual person, and we have to understand that. So we're not pushing it. We welcome all people here. But what I want you to know is when someone asks you in conversation, because in order to have a woman, you got to conversate. That woman is going to see about your conversation. Here's what I'm going to recommend. We have a podcast with a series called Men and Emotions. I want you to find it on our YouTube page, and Trish has that up, and you can find it streaming everywhere. Look up Men and Emotions, and then I want you to come back, and I want you to be able to answer all the questions, because that's how we do it. As a life coach, I will ask you questions, and it isn't in a way to make you feel bad about yourself. We want you to feel great about yourself in knowing exactly what you want. So you said the most important thing is God in your life. Okay? See, because as we age, we become more sure of ourselves. Or do we? Because there's some people that are as old as I am and that don't know what they want in life. So we ask you the question, what challenges have you faced? If God is priority in your life, does your life show that? And whomever you want in your life, are they going to want the same goals? Everybody talks about goals, right? It's challenges, yeah. So please don't take it as, we're picking on you. No, we love that question, and we love the answer that you gave. We just want you to be able to, when a woman says to you, because she's going to ask you stuff, and if she thinks that you can't communicate, that's going to be her break or make. What about drinking water? Oh, drinking water, as that's important to you. Thank you for that. Great. Challenges, great. And communication. Before we can be a good communicator to anybody, with anybody, how do we communicate with ourselves? When you look at yourself in the mirror, what are you seeing? Anybody got a mirror? Are you close to a mirror? Anybody? Because if you are, I want you to do yourself a favor. And if you're driving, you're not able to do this. What do you see? You see you in the mirror, right? And I want you to talk to you for a second. You ready? You see your face, you see your outer exterior. I want you to look in your inside, because you're the only one that knows you're inside. How would you like to see your inside? Your soul. You know that part that is the deepest part of you. How would you like to see your soul? See, I look at myself from the inside, and I can now answer that. In my soul of soul, I want to protect every child. From what? What do I want to protect them from? From the abuse, from chaos, from all the things that they have experienced that they shouldn't have had to. That's the deepest part of my soul. Can you get there? Can anybody get there to the deepest part of their soul and say what they really, really want? Can you do that, Bob? Yeah. And that's okay. Thank you for your honesty. That's what Vibe Talk helps you to do, is to get to the deepest part of you. Because just as I said, how my sister pinpointed about me really loving myself, I got there, but here's the other connection. I'm not okay with everybody loving me. I start feeling unsafe. And there are layers and layers and layers of that. But just because you feel like this today doesn't mean that tomorrow you're going to feel like that. Everybody understand that? Getting to the deepest part of ourselves. And that's the thing too. Being able to look at ourselves past our faces, past how good looking we are on the outside. What are we in the inside? That's when we start discovering things about ourselves and we go, wow, we have challenged ourselves every day. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm challenging myself. Because just like my sister said, and she was so right on the money. She couldn't have said it any better than anyone else. You don't want people to love you. Why is that? See, our experiences make us who we are. But that lion, you know what I tell people? There's a lion that lives in all of us. Did you know that, Bob? And we've got to wake up that lion, because that lion, yeah, yeah, being scared, yeah. There's so many people out there who are challenged with fear. So many people that have not had opportunity, that won't take opportunity because of fear of the what if. See, mine is what if? What if that person hurts me? What if that person uh, likes me and they expect so much from me that I can't give? And when she explained that to me, she says, you know, everybody likes you. I don't see that about myself. I just do what I need to do. Trust me, guys, on this one. There may be fear in your life. Tap into that fear. Find out what that fear is all about. We help you to be able to walk into that. We're no doctors. I'm not a doctor by any means. But we do this as conversation. Many people have been helped to understand. And that's why a lot of people don't tap into Vibe Talk, because they are scared. Thank you for that, Bob. Good morning as you all come in. Welcome to the program. Facing Challenges. Where are you listening in from? And we see we have a new audience member. First of all, Tricia and I would like to send our warmest thank yous for joining conversation. Vibe Talk is all about live conversation. And today we're talking about the challenges that you're facing. And Bob, thank you for starting us off. Thank you so much. Facing challenges. We're having a great conversation with Bob. Bob faces the challenge of wanting a woman in his life. And as we got to talking to Bob, we discovered the important things that were important to Bob. And when you're able to say that, if they're important to you, they should be important to the person that you are wanting a relationship with. Forrest, good morning. And so we start conversations out like this, but we want everybody to have a safe space. And that's what Vibe Talk Facing the Lion is all about, is channeling and challenging yourselves. If you welcome a good challenge, there is no win-lose situation. You're going to discover and wake up the lion that lives inside of you. When I say the lion that lives inside of you, what are lions known for? Strength, courage, power. You'll learn to use these things skillfully. Because I'm going to tell you, the things that Bob shared with us are the same things that many clients have said to me. And he got down to being too scared. I don't know any cowardly lions, but I'll tell you, The Wizard of Oz, if you've ever seen that movie as a child, you go back and you watch it as an adult, they each had something that they wanted. Dorothy wanted to go home. One of them needed a heart. One of them needed courage. Remember that? And they were trying to go visit the wizard when they discovered that they haven't. All they had to do was skillfully learn how to use their courage. Go back and watch the movie, and you'll say, yeah, Coach Nisi was right. She was so right about that. Our fears come from you can't do what? What was that, Bob? That you said you couldn't do. All of our fears, ladies and gentlemen, come from experience. Oh, you can't watch the movie? Okay. But that's what the movie was about. And I've given analogies about that, starting with childhood and its experience. But I want everyone who works with me to learn and discover about themselves. Because you're not going to solve it in one day. And you have every right to have a want list. Everybody should have a want list. I think that's important too. And in the want list, how are you going to go about getting it? I think Bob has taken us to a very good start. Because, see, when we want something, doesn't it challenge us? Because no one can help you better than you. And Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast shows you how to get tools. Yeah. How to use a tool. Trish, do you want to add anything?
I would say that about wanting something and when you feel like, oh, I want to accomplish this, I want to do this, it's amazing how the mind works when you're saying that and you actually do everything in your ability to get what you want because you want it so bad, because you like the idea and the feeling of the possibility of actually having it, whether it's your dream job or getting your favorite ice cream or just getting to the fitness that you want. Wanting something is like the start of actually accomplishing something.
Yeah. Love that analogy. Thank you so much. And that's our co host, Trish. So we want you guys to be able to challenge yourselves. You know, Bob had a really great challenge. I thought it was really great. Um, we want to make you all feel safe as you talk about your challenges. Bob wants to a woman that is good to him. And the very first thing I asked him was, is he good to himself? Same with me. You will hear me do reveals here about myself because I too experience the same emotions that you all experience. We all are human. We experience fear, joy, pain, excitement, happiness, sorrow, but everybody has a different story. And I challenge you to share your story. Everybody wants to be in their relationship. You're young. You're 23. And as you mature, Bob, everything that you want in life will come as long as you challenge yourself. And the way that we challenge ourselves is to get to know ourselves. Even me, since I've started Vibe Talk, hearing other people's story has helped me to reflect. See, life doesn't work like magic. It's like Trish said, and that's funny that you mentioned ice cream because I wanted ice cream yesterday. So I bought ice cream, easy, right? But many of us have said we want a happy life. And some of the people have gotten a happy life, but then there's others who say they still want the happy life and have no idea how to challenge themselves to get that happy life. What is your worth? Put no price tag on that. Challenge yourself. If you have not looked at yourself as valuable, start looking at yourself as valuable. I'm getting better at that. What did I say? We look at ourselves every day. We look at our outer exterior because we can see that. We can see the things that we like and we dislike, but the inside challenges us to reflect on the soul of our mirror, which is our deepest part of ourselves. I don't know if any of you got that when I mentioned it. We're here for you. Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. And if you are a male, son, father, brother, uncle. We encourage you to go listen to Men and Emotions. It's very powerful, very powerful. Because men have needs, wants, emotions, and women have them too. So we shouldn't be surprised. And Bob, I want to thank you for your time with us. Let's challenge ourselves so that in life we're always up for a challenge. Challenge is accepted. You know, many people around the globe get into these TikTok challenges, these Instagram challenges. But how many of you have challenged yourself to become the best version of yourself? I challenge you. We're all, ladies and gentlemen, work of art. The mastery of getting that art to the way that you want is to keep practicing, keep improving, because we're never going to reach that perfect us. So don't be perfect. Don't try to be perfect, because that's out of your reach for now. But work on the best parts of you. And if you're working from ground up, what things do you say to your friends that you're having difficult circumstances in saying to yourself? Start with that one. You know, you say you have good friends, and you tell your friends how grateful you are for them. I want you to internalize that and turn it into yourself and be your best friend. Introduce yourself to you today if you're just starting out today. And the best way to introduce yourself to you is to stand in that mirror and reflect on who you want to become. Not the I'm ugly, I'm fat, I'm too skinny, my nose is skinny, my eyes should have been brown and they're green. I want you to look beyond all that surface stuff, because the human inside of you lives and breathes just like the lion lives and breathes. I want you to notice the powerful person that you are, not in strength, but in your mindset. It's an everyday situation. How many of you know that? That it is an everyday situation. Anybody?
I do.
Yeah. We will continue to work on ourselves. We will be right back with Trisha's Treasures. We'll be right back. We are back, and Trish, I'll turn it over to you for your Trisha's Treasures.
I recall a time where I wanted to be uh I wanted to be on the basketball team in my PE class. And I remember the whole week nobody was picking me, and it made me feel so bad, cuz like, why was nobody choosing me? And I was thinking, I was on that team, like, I'll be great defense. Like, I can guard everybody on that team. Like, I will make at least 2 shots. Nobody's making any shots. And when they actually picked me, because my coach was like, the coach was like, you guys have to pick her. She can't just sit there. It's for a grade. Everybody needs the grade. So they put me on their team, and it was a one-time thing, but I made a half-court shot, and it was the best experience of my entire life. And I don't know how I did that, but I did that. And the thing was, when I wasn't on the team, I was thinking of, if I was on this team, here's the benefit that I will bring to the table. Here's what I would bring to the table if I was on the team. And I don't care if we lost. I didn't care if we lost the game. I was so determined to prove my place on the team. And that's how it is with challenges and your goals in life. It's like, there are things that you want to do, and proving to yourself that you can actually do it, and saying to yourself, if I did make it to where I want to be, this is how I would be. This is how I would treat it. This is how I would appreciate me actually accomplishing the goal. And when you face the challenges and when you actually get what you want, it's up to you whether to use it to your best abilities, be the benefit or take the benefit of it, or to take or to mistreat your experience and not learn anything. So when you are facing challenges and when you want something in life, be sure to always think about how it will help you and how it will benefit you.
That's real lion power. Thank you, Trish. I learn something every time we do this program. You see, Trish, what I got from Trish's story is Trish was challenged by a challenge. She said nobody would pick her until the coach said, no, this is for a grade. So now she had to face that. On top of that, her other challenge was, will she make the shot? So she challenged herself, and she said it was the best feeling. Everybody get that? You won't get that. You can be challenged by a challenge. And here's the best part. And I want to leave here saying this. Everybody naturally wants to be in a relationship. We were created that way. But here's the thing. Are you in a relationship with yourself? Do you like yourself enough to be in a relationship? And when I say being in a relationship with yourself, getting to know you, because if you don't like yourself, what makes you believe that the partner that you're picking is going to like you? Because they're eventually going to find out those deeper things that you may need to get to. Is it fair not to challenge yourself to be a better version of yourself, or just to jump headlong into a relationship? I like love a lot, but you heard me say today that I'm challenged with everybody loving me, as my sister said. That's not safe. So what do I need to do? I need to accept in life, that it is okay to love myself. Every day, that's a fight for me. I'm the best person to tell my own story. I can't tell anybody else's story. And by me being here and Trish being here, we can help you learn from all of us. So when we're talking one-on-one, or we're talking in a group, in conversation about being challenged, this is no free-for-all that we're picking on people, but we're really asking them questions such as what you heard me ask Bob today. Getting to know yourself. Why not make that your challenge? How do you get to know yourself? How many times has someone asked you, what's your favorite color? And you had to think about that. Anybody? Or what's your favorite hobby? And you're like, uh, uh, um, uh. See, when those questions are asked of you, do you really know yourself? In other words, if I were to ask you to stand at the mirror like I did today and ask yourself and point to you, what do you want to challenge yourself with? It becomes difficult because we don't ask ourselves those things. We require them from other people. We leave no room for requirement or expectation from ourselves. That is the emotion of sadness. Because we will place our values in other people, getting to know them, even with celebrities that we never even met in life. We want to know what they wear. We become like them. We talk like them. We have their favorite movies. We know them. We know them line for line. We know their songs. And we won't even invest in ourselves to get to know and become in a relationship with ourselves. See, we take the expectation and we start putting it on other people. You want goodness in a relationship? Good morning and welcome to our program. Thank you for joining us. And we're talking about challenges that we face. Learning to challenge yourself. Learning more about yourself. If you are a man, I want you to do yourself a favor and go listen to our 3-part series on men and emotions. Out now. From that, I'm writing a book that I know that every man that will listen to the program will appreciate, and you're going to find yourself in the 3 men. You're going to find yourself there. We want you to be able to relate. We want you to be able to say, that's me. How many times have you saw a movie and you say, that character, that's how I feel. I can relate. I think we did good work here today with Bob, and I want to give Bob a personal thank you just for being that courageous to say his challenge was finding a relationship. And I started to ask the questions because we expect the other person to fulfill those parts of us that we feel are empty, when indeed they are not empty. There's a lion in every one of us. We just have to know how to wake it up. I want to thank my amazing co-host, Trish. Thank you so much. And all of you, join me for Vibe Talk After Dark. It is our new radio show, and we're going to be streaming it on our podcast Saturday and on Facebook. So come and join me, and it's 8 o'clock California time. All about music and song dedication, and it's always, what song would you like to hear? What song can I play for you on Saturdays, 8 p.m. California time, right on our Facebook. Thanks everybody for being here. I am hoping that you learned something. Our last question today is, what did you learn and discover from our program today about challenges and facing them? Trish, we'll start with you.
I learned that it's a challenge to work on. I learned that it's a challenge to work on who I am, to see my benefit in my life sometimes. But it's good to discover myself and see what benefits that I have for myself, because I can self benefit off me. And that's a good support if I can do that. But I have to reflect and challenge myself to see who I am and see what I'm capable of doing. And by doing that, and to challenge myself, I need to take risks and face challenges. And my emotions here today, I would say I felt I felt like I could relate to Bob, because I've been in the same boat. Like I want a relationship, but I'm still working on me. So I felt like I can relate to Bob.
Yeah. And understanding the position that you were in, for me, what I learned is I started thinking about the way you must have felt, you know, as a kid. You go to school and kids are so mean. Even if you're a girl, kids are just mean. Girls and boys alike. And you're the last person, because they think you can't play. You can't play. But here's the thing. What I learned from is you can always challenge yourself with the challenges. And then the more that you challenge yourself with challenges, you become a better version of yourself because you got through it. Trish, it was like I was there with you when you were talking about that. Because you could have said, fine, nobody wants to pick me, I'm going to sit this one out. But you accepted the challenge. May all of you do that. Good morning to everyone. Our program is being recorded. If you want to go hear it, all you have to do is go to our Facebook page, Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. They're streaming everywhere. But for this one today, it is being recorded on our page. And Trish gets to pick the song today. How about that, Trish? Check out our reels, guys. I think you're going to really like them. Go see them on Instagram. Our reels. I'm so amazed at the work that we're getting done. Don't forget, before you leave today, top left corner on one of our platforms, if you're able to see that, I want you to click on that, because that'll send you right to our YouTube page. Join that. It costs you nothing. Be a part of that. Help us to help our page grow. Yes, we do have YouTube. Have a great and safe weekend. If you have anything that's inspiring, you can always send us a message. We'll read it. If you have donations, if you have song dedications, we want to keep this show rolling for you. We want to keep this podcast important to you because it's all about your emotional and mental health. Let's challenge each other to do better. Have a great weekend, everybody. Until then, I'll see you next time.